started at 21 or 22, and my parents thought I was nuts. You know, I had grown up in the South. I grew up in Oklahoma, in Arkansas, in Texas, Arizona. I didn't know about ice hockey. I saw Wayne Gretzky on Saturday Night Live, and I was like, who's that guy? And so I moved to Pittsburgh to go to school, to the University of Pittsburgh, and that's when I started to fall in love with hockey. I actually ended up really liking sports in general because of it, but there's something about hockey, and it really is something about the passion that the players have for it. The time, the money, and the commitment that people put into the sport is greater than any other, and I wish that more people would recognize the fact that even more than men's hockey, which again is expensive, it's the same equipment, the travel time, the time away from people's families, the time away from work, all the stuff that people put into women's hockey, it shows you exactly how important it is in their lives.
The opportunity to participate in a fast-moving sport, it's a relatively dangerous sport. And work as a team, work with other people to problem solve, and work within that structure. When they leave a sport like hockey, where they've had to work within a team and have had to deal with adversity, have had to deal with challenges, have to deal with opposition and officials and power dynamics, you know, coach-player or referee-player, administration, things like that, that they're more apt to take on challenges in the workforce. I don't believe that you can, or I can, I don't know, measure that sort of impact it has in the society at large. That when you empower women within a sport like this, that you are creating strong, independent women that can go out and take on challenges. And they're ready for them, they're prepared for them. Back in the day when it wasn't that acceptable for women, girls my age to really be involved in sports. It was a real stereotypical attitude that girls are fragile, girls are this and girls are that. And it was really a social construction to keep girls from participating. And if you go even further back in history, it was clothing. How do you play sports with a corset on? What's nice is that women can define their own sport now, without the labels that seem to be thrown at it from the outside. From within, they can define who they want to be and how they want to play, when they want to play, where they want to play. And 15, 20 years ago, that wasn't an option. It was, this is where you can play or not. And I know of one woman in Canada now who became an Olympian, not in hockey, in another sport, and her name's Abby Hoffman. And when she signed up for hockey, she was Abe Hoffman with a short cut, because so she could play hockey. And she was about, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. And our trophy in Canada is named after her for women's team when they play. So there's, we don't have to cut our hair short anymore and change our names in order to play. The girls are showing up in their flashy pink and purple sticks and appropriately attired outfits. And they're creating their own identity in it, and that's wonderful. They don't have to be something else, someone else's construct. And that's empowering.
A lot of my little advertisements for, you know, new teams are, you're never too old, and you aren't in the sport. We went to Brampton one year, it was the Piranhas up there, and we're talking to this girl before the game, and we're gonna play against her. I guess I should call her a girl because she was 80. She was 80 and she was still playing hockey. So I'm pretty excited about that.
There's more fluidity in the women's game right now in terms of league development, team development, because there is such an influx of players that are 12 years old right now that 10 years ago weren't there. So now there needs to be more programs for them. So unlike a male program that might have been around for the past 50, 60 years, there's a women's program that's might only been there 10 years. So it's still growing. It's expanded, I think, in Canada and internationally. Some of the numbers I've seen is 200% annually at one point in terms of the number of young girls and women entering into the sport. And after 2010 Olympics in North America, the Whistler Vancouver bid, I believe it'll just continue to keep going. The leagues are growing. There are more teams coming in. There's approximately 4 new Division III women's programs starting next fall. That's on top of other programs that started this past year. My calculation was there's approximately 100 Division III hockey, brand new hockey spots opening for women's hockey. If you want to be a recreational athlete, there are programs that you can sign up for. There's drop-in programs. You can be as committed as you want to be or as recreational as you want to be. And I think what's really nice now in this generation of women coming into the sport is that there's now a place for women to go when they don't want to be an elite athlete. And I think that's the strength in the women's game right now, is that there are a number of opportunities for these young women, from Mighty Mites right up to young girls at Mighty Mites, right up to the young women in the college age.
Every time there's a team that exists, that means someone's getting to play. And that's a big deal. You want both players who are good and players who are learning to be able to have the opportunity to play. I don't know what city I'll go to next, because I'm almost through with ball school, but they don't have a hockey team. They will. They absolutely will. And even if they do have one, I'm going to make it more organized. As
the sport grows and the boundaries that keep it contained are pushed, it will have to expand. And those that don't keep up will be left behind, whether it's a college, university, a Mighty Mites organization. The girls are coming, they want to play. You're going to have to start making room for them, and if you don't, they're going to make their own places to play. We're slowly breaking down some of those barriers. We were 15, 20 years ago, slowly breaking down those barriers. That process is accelerating more and more every 4 years when the Olympics come around. And on TV, the world can see strong, vibrant, athletic women competing passionately in their sport, executing with finesse, executing with strength, and that makes a nation proud. Why wouldn't you want your daughter to be like that?